Hello, my soul family. Welcome to the weekly astrology for the week of March 30th, 2020 to April 5th, 2020. So this week we are beginning the new month of April. So we're closer to this new beginning. And of course, April 1st is April Fool's Day. So make sure to be funny and comedian with those around you. So let us read the forecast of this week. So Monday, Tuesday, which is still the two last days of March. The rest of this month is dominated by Aquarius and the fellow air sign Gemini, because we have the moon move into Gemini at the weekend, and Saturn is in Aquarius now, right, for a few weeks until it retrogrades back into Capricorn. So this is a great time to make the best of this, because this energy in Aquarius, it's a blessing that we need to take advantage of before it moves back into the difficult energy of Capricorn. So this is likely to be a busy end to the month, because we're finishing these creative projects, aspirations, or we're beginning new projects. Now that we have the time, now that we're feeling the spring equinox new beginning energy, the flowers are beginning to bloom, and so are we. So are our creative projects. This is a smart time to think, strategize, brainstorm, and put things together. Cunning plans that will achieve the most and serve humanity. Think this Aquarius energy is serving to humanity. Okay? And remember, we still have Mars in Capricorn. So this is helping us to propel this fiery, passionate energy into our projects diligently and disciplined. Due to Saturn's shift last week, there is much emphasis on how we serve the wider community and what we're doing to help not only humanity, but the planet. Because we as a planet are raising the vibration. And this thing that's going on in the world is just a purge of the old, because we're moving towards new waters, a new world. So we need to trust and continue to contribute in whatever way that we can, because you are at the perfect divine place right now. You are meant to where you're meant to be right now. Mars, like I just said, Mars governs our energy, our life force, our ability to take action, our masculine energy. And it moves into the sign of Aquarius on Monday, which is today, until May. So this is a long time that we have, a whole month, to go after our projects, our dreams, our goals and aspirations that are of service to humanity. So compassion will be evoked for ourselves and others. Aquarius is also the sign that triggers ingenuity, which is marvelous, but remember the fine line between genius and insanity. Walk the line like a ballerina, while protecting your mind with spiritual practice and your body with some powerful enhanced exercise. So remember, okay, Aquarius, yes, is very genius, right? But make sure not to get overloaded with this information, because this happened to me, and it was the energy of last week, the beginning of last week. There was a lot of genius energy, and we wanted to do everything, but it wasn't the moment. But then with the moon moving into Taurus of last weekend, it was more of a better time to do it. But although we're needing to walk the line like a ballerina, meaning very carefully treading forward, protect your mind in the meantime. And how do you do this? By grounding with your spiritual practice. So make sure to tune into my nightly healing prayer sessions, where we do healing energy work there, and your daily spiritual practice, my morning affirmations, and your daily yoga routine, meditation practice. So the mission of this week, as always, is to meditate morning and night for at least 10 minutes. So tune into those videos in my High Vibes Only Club. Volunteer for charity in some way, or even just volunteer your time. Tune into the collective. Donate skills or resources rather than money, though that's fine too, of course. On both days, Monday, Tuesday, give some food or drink to a homeless person without telling anyone. And be grateful for also those people who are working in the grocery stores, that we're able to still be able to purchase food. We need to be grateful to those people who work so hard, because they're sacrificing as well their time and their energy and their life. So our aspiration and mantra for this week is, I am part of this solution. We are part of the solution of this world's issue. By just being ourselves, being in our mission, sharing our gifts, and staying spiritually aligned. That's all you need to do, okay? Now let us tune in for the rest of the week. So on Monday, Mars moves into Aquarius. Tuesday, so the reflections, and Tuesday we have Mars conjunction of Saturn in Aquarius at 0 degrees. So this is the perfect new beginning, okay? 0 point, a fresh new slate, a new beginning. So you might find that over the last weeks, you've been like renovating your space or even yourself, your look. If you haven't done this, try that. A good feng shui secret is to move things around in your space, even if it's just moving your table in a new space, maybe from left to right, or just changing the sheet colors, changing the color of your pillows, or just changing the order of how things are going in your routine. That makes all the difference in keeping the energy alive and freeing the stagnation of your energy and letting the emotions being able to breathe. Okay, so try that this week. So your reflections for Monday and Tuesday, which you should have a journal, like I always like to say, next to your nightstand, your deepest thoughts, but I also want you to go over these questions that I'm going to be going over each astrology week that I began last week, so that we can bring this in, our reflections into the astrology as well. If you managed to complete the mission of being part of the solution, how did it make you feel? If you skipped anything this week, like any goals in your planner of what you wanted for that week, did it make you feel any different, for better or for worse? How did the last 2 days' aspiration unfold? How you thought it was going to transpire? What did you learn? What did you need to surrender as well to the divine will? List a few things, if even just one, that you're grateful for. Tune into my daily gratitude statements every day in the morning messages on my High Vibes Only Club. Are there any takeaways from this week that you would like to address next week? Try reflecting without judgment. Don't judge yourself. Next month is almost here, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, April 1st. So appreciate all that you've achieved and just relax before you move on to April. So let us talk about April now. April has a lot going on, okay? So this is going to be especially a little longer video. April is derived from the Latin word aprilis, which means to open, like a lotus flower, like this flower here is wide open, its petals. In the northern hemisphere, it's usually the time when the buds begin to open and the world blooms. April also stems from the goddess Aphrodite. Aphrodite is the goddess of love and beauty in Greek philosophy and mythology, which you can learn more about in my podcast that I have on my YouTube channel. Look for it on my website lecture section. You'll get the direct link. Otherwise known as Venus. Venus is all about beauty and love, ruled by Taurus, right? Ruler of Taurus and Libra. And Libra is all about is a house in relationships. So this is huge about relationships too. We're balancing out our relationships in our life, bringing more harmony, allowing these new beginnings to open up to us. If we're able to see clearly without judgment, without superseding our own will. The sun is in Aries until April 19th. So this is good because this sun in Aries is giving us more confidence in our mission as light workers. April 7th, next week on Tuesday, we're beginning the Lightworker University classes, virtual online classrooms. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We're going to be meeting on live virtual webinars. And if you can't make it to those times, you can always tune in later, and those will be uploaded to the school on the Lightworker page, the students page. I really hope that you can join me. If you want more information, tune into my website videos on the homepage and you'll get a little more description there. But it's the perfect time to do this. And I even go into how to develop a business that is a Lightworker mission. Whatever talents that you have, how to blend it in with your spirituality. So it gets really deep. It's more than just, learning about the spiritual world, but it's about learning about the actual mission and all those other things. And then the sun is in Aries until April 19th, when it then moves into Taurus. Aries and the strong stamps in Taurus is a supreme combination in a personal chart. Aries is known as a pioneer, and Taurus is a multi-skilled and talented, and neither sign is content until they make stuff happen and bring ideas to life. Think Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent van Gogh, and those who use the written word to raise awareness and spark change. Charlotte Bronte was born in April and used storytelling to bring strong-minded, powerful females to prominence in an era when women had few rights. So this is all about bringing this revolutionary change. This is this new beginning. William Wordsworth and Maya Angelou are also among the artistic and literary avant-garde who were born this month. Signs in the spotlight for this week, if any of you have any signs in this: Aries, and also the opposite sign of Libra, but to a lesser degree, until the full moon in Libra, which is on April 8th, which is next week. Taurus, and also the opposite sign of Scorpio to a lesser degree. Aquarius, and also the opposite sign of Leo to a lesser degree. And of course, Capricorn, and the opposite sign of Cancer to a lesser degree. So this week, like I forecasted, is all about fresh starts and new beginnings. This month is ripe for courage, fresh starts and beginnings for those who wish to launch new businesses and startups. Okay, the energy is there to give birth to something incredible. Had to take a sip. Okay. So this is about birthing new ideas into reality. Aries is a fire sign. And while the ram is usually known for patience, it's also dynamic and powerful and effective sign. And one usually comfortable with risk. So you need to be willing to take risk in your life. Risk to show your true self, your spiritual self, to speak it out. Risk to just be authentic. Great leaders are more often than not born with plenty of Aries in their chart, as they rarely fail to take the initiative and forge ahead to implement change and achieve success. Aries folks can also be extremely competitive, which can be annoying, but they do make absolute fabulous athletes. So use this competitiveness nature for good, because we're all going to be feeling this. We're all going to be wanting to supersede and excel others. But remember that there's enough success for everybody here on earth. And like I said in my how-to video, my motivational speech in my High Vibes Only Club, there's more than enough success to go around. You know why? Because the more light workers that are vibrating at their highest potential and living their dream and fulfilling their mission at the highest potential, the higher the vibration of the earth and the more harmony and bliss we're going to experience as a whole collective. That's what we want. Think big. Don't just think your little worlds. Think big. This is a rebirth and a resurrection as well. April is brimming with celebrations. Wherever you live and whatever your culture, rebirth and freedom from oppression are instilled in your psyche on some level this month. Now, it's interesting that it talks about the psyche, because also in my Mindset Talks, which is all my educational shows, in the show of the Signs of the Psyche, a Deep into the Divine Masculine Psyche, which we go back and forth, it's all about the psyche. What really goes on in this psyche, the spiritual psyche, okay? This mental awareness. We observe Arab American Heritage Month, which recognizes the contributions of the Arab Americans to humanity, and the Christian festival of Easter. Easter is this upcoming week and this upcoming month. And Jewish Passover are also celebrated this month. So this is special news. The tradition of giving Easter eggs is said to come from the tomb of Jesus after his crucifixion, okay, which was empty, but actually indicated his resurrection and indeed a new life, a reincarnation. So even though, you know, humans in that time who weren't spiritual didn't believe that he was going to resurrect, those people who were spiritual and who knew the spiritual truth, you know, Mother Mary, those around him supporting him, Mary Magdalene, all the other disciples there, they knew and they believed in this resurrection. And guess what? He did resurrect. And this is the faith that we need to embody. We are going to resurrect from this. Okay? This is this new birth, rebirth, and resurrection. I feel like this week we're going to start to experience glimpses of hope. Really tune into that lecture, A Message of Hope from Above 2020, on my lecture section. I'll link it down below. Because in that video, I really go in depth about what's going on spiritually and how we need to maintain the hope, because I got a lot of signs that there is hope, and I shared them with you there. The Easter Bunny tradition simply comes from rabbits. So rabbits is significant, and rabbits are usually white, right? Who give birth to many babies in spring, the birthing, the blossoming of our flowers, illustrating new life, a new you. Check out my new soul coaching program. This week we're going to be going over week 3. Week 1 and week 2 live webinars are already up, over 3 hours already there. So I'm so excited because this is going really well. We're learning so much. The actual date of Easter Sunday is chosen in accordance with the full moon. It is the first Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox, which was last week, right? So we're going to talk about that as we approach the Sunday. Spiritual beings. We're being called as spiritual beings. And that was the spiritual talk of last week. What exactly does being a spiritual being mean? What exactly does being spiritual mean? That was the theme of that spiritual talk. So tune into that because I really feel it's going to help you. Irrespective of our birth heritage, we're all connected as spiritual beings. Our spirits have no color or no nationality. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter what color, what you believe in. We're all the same at the deep core. We're all one with the universe, with God. What we do with our lives here on earth is down to us. It's up to us. We have the power to elevate our souls, rise in love and vibration, and progress no matter what hand life has dealt us. No matter what's going on in the world, we can keep going. And that's what I've been doing on my blogs. Read my weekly blogs. Every week I'm providing you with tips on how to make the best of your week, how to stay productive, even while you're staying at home. Spring is also the time when we leave behind the shackles of the past and embrace what time that we have to live in harmony with one another and prosper. The point being that we have more in common than not. Yeah, we're all one. We're all the same, really, at the deep core. Especially if you're awakened. If you're awakened on your journey, you're going to notice that we're all channeling similar energies. That's because we're all connected, okay? True progress is reflected in our ability to understand one another, based purely on our character and our deeds, not on our beliefs or backgrounds. So spring clean for your soul. This is also about that. Spring clean your space, aka the reorganization and restructuring of your foundations, where you live, your routine, everything. But it's also the spring cleaning of your soul, purification rituals. Those healing sessions every night are healing for your soul, okay? I do a lot of purification and cleansing and protective rituals. In Finland, April is called HUTQ, which means slash and burn moon. And April is their time for clearing farmland and felling dead wood. We need to create fresh energy in our life. And in order to do that, we are urged to clear away the debris and the dead wood. And so taking inspiration from the Finns, clear your space. Make space for creativity. Make sure that your space is organized. That's what I spent the last week doing. I reorganized and restructured my space, but I also cleaned. Make sure to clean those spots where you normally don't clean. Make sure to organize, and you want to be able to feel good and organized in your workspace. This allows for more creativity to flow naturally, okay? Make sure that where you sleep also is your sacred space. Make sure that you create a nice, soothing, calming environment that's sensual or that's calming, whatever vibe you're feeling. Make sure that you put that vibe into where you want to feel. So you need to clear away the debris. If any aspect of your life is cluttered, even if it's in the digital cloud, your computer, maybe you need to clear out your computer as well. On a deeper level, it restricts the flow of positive energy towards you. The most successful creatives I know are organized and minimalistic. And as far as I'm concerned, creativity is our soul speaking. Every person on earth has creativity in their soul. It's just often tightly wrapped in the humdrum of worldly life and can't find a way out. But we can all be creative. It isn't reserved for the artistically talented. Cooking is creative, gardening is creative, and finding simple solutions for complex issues is the best ingenuity of them all. And that's what I'm about. In all my therapy sessions with my clients, I'm all about simplicity. Focus on the solution rather than dwelling on the problems by repeatedly giving it energy and endlessly talking and ruminating about the same thing over and over. We need to retell this story. I already told my own personal story. On my homepage, you can check it out. And you can't imagine the difference that it made in my aura, in my vibration, and the story that I was telling myself and others and those around me. So try that. I really dare you to try that. That was actually a homework assignment from the A New You Soul Coaching Program for week 2 when it comes to self-love. This week is also about transformation and opportunity. April, because that's the April energy. Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn form an exact conjunction on April 5th. And this is an almighty partnership. Opportunities influenced by Jupiter's expansive output are fused with Pluto's supremacy. Because Pluto is also about transformation, deep breakthroughs. And Capricorn is disciplined in keeping working at it. And this will bring in the good fortune of Jupiter. Transformation is inevitable if we're to embrace the gone right potentials for this combination. Hard work will bring rewards. We need to face ourselves honestly and ruthlessly tackle the areas of life that forge our commitments. Breakthroughs in the professional environment are likely, and sometimes leaving a career behind is simply written in the stars. Moving towards a more spiritual mission, aka my Lightwork University, which I feel like I already spoke about in this video. Pluto unceremoniously pulls the rug if we ignore the subtle messages from the universe, imploring us to change our ways and take the bigger picture into consideration. This is deep. Remember the bigger picture, my friends. Relationships and connections. This is a week to do that too. By the time the full moon in Libra graces our planet on April 8th, which is the next week on Monday, it's tactical to review our relationships, which serve us and which lower our vibration and standards in general. The people in our life impact us the most, and it's time to be honest about who are in our close circles, inspires and encourages us the best versions of ourselves, and who does the opposite. Don't be afraid to step away from people who lower your standards. This is about assertiveness, which is one of the upcoming chapters in my new soul coaching program. For as one door closes, others soon open. Remember that. Don't be afraid to leave what doesn't serve you. Never burn any bridges. That's not what we're here for. Just execute grace and quietly step away until your example leads others and inspires others by you being that embodiment of a spiritual being, which that's what we spoke about in the spiritual talk last week, directly or indirectly. Venus also moves into Gemini on April 3rd this week, which is, I believe, on Friday, inspiring our heart and filling us with the impetus to seek stimulation and excitement in what you do for a living, in what makes you happy, in your relationships, in your love partnerships. Because relationships is everything, family, friends, and lovers, okay? So Aries mantra for this month, because we are in Aries season, is the following. And write it down because this is what you're going to be reflecting towards the end of each week. I am reborn and I lead by my own example. I am reborn and I lead by my own example. I am reborn and I lead by my own example. And look at that. Last week's love show theme was that about rebirth through healing. Perfect energies. You see, nothing comes through coincidence. So now let us talk about the first week of April. From Wednesday, April 1st to Sunday, April 5th. This week is brimming with inspiration and opportunity. So this is a good week. I feel positivity. And it's worth noting that opportunity isn't always directly related to worldly achievements or money. Anything that triggers our heart and activates our mind is the best form of opportunity, as this serves our soul. So this is about, if anything triggers your heart, this is about being intellectually stimulated. Okay, this is good because this is about worldly achievements that are not all about the money, but that are about being of service to the mission. On Tuesday and Wednesday, there's a standoff between Aquarius and Leo. Leo is all about this self-confidence, right? Towards the higher mission of Aquarius. But be careful not to let it be so self-serving, because too much of a Leo energy can create too much of an ego. See, we are being pushed to review what is selfish or solely self-serving in our life. So this basically is just telling us, just be honest with yourself, okay? If you encounter these ugly traits in others, remember that first of all, it's a projection of what's going on within. When you criticize others, First, look at yourself, the reflection and within. And then when you heal those aspects within you, you're going to see those others differently. Have compassion towards yourself and others, and perhaps use this alignment to educate them with love, or leave them behind if they are not willing to, accept you or the spiritual truth. Because even though you love them, you must be surrounded by people who are spiritual, because this is about protecting your energetic vibration and your mission above all. We have all been directed towards a selfish vision for long enough, and this will not help any of us in the long run, okay? Because our earth is raising its vibration towards a higher mission. The sooner we all realize that we're all connected to every rhythm and heartbeat on the planet, the faster we shall progress. If you're stuck in a false reality, believing that narcissistic people in your life and in the public eye are living their best lives, wake up to the fact, if you haven't already, that the eye of karma never misses a beat. And if people do nothing but serve themselves, they run the risk of depleting all the positive karma they have generated in past lives. Wow. So this was energy that did transpire from last week. This is the healing from the wounded warrior within us of our ego that is flowing into this week. We are now seeing the reality of what needs to be healed, because a lot of people were triggered through ego, and also being triggered by people who are openly bragging about their ego, such as that of these celebrities who are in the public eye portraying that they're living their best life, but are they really living that best life behind the picture, behind the scenes? Or narcissistic people that they believe that the attention's all about them, or it's all about the looks. It's more than just the looks. It's what's going on within. It's what you're doing for the world, your mission. You can have both. You can feel good, because everyone wants to feel good in your own skin, right? But make sure that you use that to influence others towards good, realizing that this inner beauty radiates from the light from within. So if you want to radiate more beauty, be more charismatic, be more charming, realize that it's all about being in light. We have to balance the books and look beyond one life, which is nothing more than a flash. Karma is certainly not A plus B equals C, but it is a universal law that cannot ever be manipulated. This is one of the universal laws that actually I spoke about in the spiritual talk. So look at that spiritual talk. So the mission of this week, like always, is to meditate morning and night, the daily morning message of every day in my High Vibes Only Club, and the nightly healing session, the healing prayer. Give yourself one additional task each day. This could be as simple as say good morning to a stranger, or go for a walk, or do something altruistic, or as complex as clearing all your paperwork, getting organized, cleaning your house. I mean, what better way that you're in home, right? Clean your house, and you're gonna feel lighter because of it, I promise. Whatever you choose, make it achievable, or you run the risk of missing the whole point, because the whole point is not to try to, build a whole kingdom in this week. It's to just take one little action step towards building that kingdom. Believe it or not, cleaning up your space is a huge piece of the puzzle, and it's a huge detail that should not be overlooked. So your aspiration for this week is the following: I attract real people. How beautiful and perfect is this? I attract real people. So speaking of this public eye, when it comes to social media, there's a lot of fake people out there, or superficial people that a lot of people mistakenly look up to. Be careful who you're looking up to. Make sure that you're attracting real people, because if you're attracting these superficial idols, that means that something within you is superficial, that there's still some ego there that needs to be dissolved. The more real you can get with yourself, the more you're gonna attract real people, and the less that the unreal is gonna interest you, okay? And this will attract also more real lovers and partnerships for life. So Wednesday, April 1st, April Fool's Day, do something comedian-like, okay? Be more funny, be more lighthearted. Don't take things too seriously today. Now, before we switch from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian, April 1st was actually celebrated as New Year, believe it or not. And those who forgot the change were playfully called April Fools. So that's how the whole April Fool's Day came about. So the moon is in Cancer today. So you might be feeling emotional, so that's why I said don't take things to heart. Be more lighthearted about it. You may be prone to taking things personally, so keep a healthy perspective. This is going to keep you in peace, okay? Make sure to rewatch my motivational speeches on my High Vibes Only Club. Last week was how to stay in peace in the tough times, and this week was all about how to stay strong in the challenging times. On Thursday, April 2nd, the moon is going to move into Leo. So this is its opposite house because the Leo sign likes to be home in its sun. So now it's being forced to connect to its emotional feminine side. Okay, so we're going to also be seeing a lot of lovers in the twin flame dynamic in the spiritual higher love. You know, perhaps come together and realize that they need each other because they're the perfect balance of masculine and feminine. Realizing that you don't have to do it alone. Saturn in Aquarius still and Mars in Aquarius now, this is good because the Mars energy from Capricorn is being, this load of heaviness is being taken away. And now we're being helped by the universe more towards our spiritual mission. This is going to form an opposition to the moon in Leo. So what I feel for this energy specifically, if by any reason there is a power struggle in any area of your life, make sure to not take things personally and keep a healthy perspective. Remember that, okay? And by you being in a power struggle as well, this is not going to attract real people. Because then that just shows that you're trying to superficially portray that you're being something that you're not or stronger than you are. Just embrace where you're at. Moon and Leo is calling you to actually be vulnerable. That's what it is. Remember, vulnerability is strength. It's not weakness. And this is going to help you to be more of service to humanity because through vulnerability, you're able to speak more clearly and more honestly and authentically. Friday, April 3rd, which is also Venus Day, and I'm always going to say that every Friday, Venus moves into Gemini. So now this is about communicating our truth when it comes to love and relationships. For the next days as well, it's likely that you will be busy and experience an increase in tasks, emails, phone calls, and communications in general. So this is also, that breakthrough in our career. So you might be getting more clients this week. You might be making more calls in your business in whatever way, trying to make things happen in your entrepreneurship. So go with the flow with this, but remember to stay grounded and stay focused on the bigger picture. So this will be a nice power surge for Aries and Virgo on Friday. So staying organized. On Thursday is a power surge for those in Aquarius, Taurus, Libra, and Leo. Okay, and then Saturday, the moon then is going to move quickly because look, moon was in Leo on Tuesday, and then Saturday, moon is going to move into Virgo. So this is also, again, now becoming organized so that we don't get overwhelmed when it comes to our business, right? Our career development. Really look into my Lightwork University. This weekend is the perfect time to carry out a spring cleaning. Clean out your closet. Do so in any way you can. Clean out your emotions. Clean out any baggages in your relationships. Sunday, April 5th, Jupiter conjoins Pluto in Capricorn. So now this is about these positive transformations that are a result of our hard work and discipline. And this time it's more effective to focus on your achievements than on all that you have not yet managed. Focus on your achievements, meaning celebrate and take the day off if you like the Sunday. Give yourself a break and be optimistic and pragmatic, okay? Don't overwork yourself because it's not about overworking either. Okay, so the reflections for this week. If you managed to complete this week's mission, which was I attract real people, and the week I am reborn and I lead by my own example, how did it make you feel? Now, if you skipped anything, did it make you feel any different? Anything in your planner that you planned, if you skipped it, did it make you feel any different, for better or for worse? Did you notice any overtly selfish behavior around you or within you? And if so, how did you handle it? How did this week's aspiration unfold? Did it help you to notice the real people you encountered? Did you surrender to the divine flow? List a few things, even if just one, that you're grateful for. That's a weekly thing that we do that every morning, actually. And are there any takeaways from this week that you would like to address next week? Try reflecting without judgment. Don't be harsh on yourself. Stay gentle. It's a nice time to do these reflections on Sunday that you're taking the day off. So Sunday, take the day off, okay? Stay in bed a little longer and just enjoy your time off, your family, yourself. Rejuvenate back yourself to health and wellness. So I really hope that you enjoyed this week's astrology energies, and I hope that you can best navigate them. Feel free to book a personal coaching session this week, as I'm free all week. And I wish you all an amazing and beautiful, productive week. Namaste.